Next up, we have Painter's Servant, which is for fighting the unfinished boss in the lower left area of the map. This area, just like in Act 2, is meant to reference the Magnificus area. You'll see some paintbrushes around, and we are already using Mox gems. We've gotten our empty vessels infused with Mox gems, where you can kind of decide which gem you want for extra power, extra health, or a cheaper cost for the card to play. So this is where the boss fight is, and I went back and I watched the footage before this. There doesn't seem to be any like special tricks you need to know about in order to get to the boss, like we had to for the first two. There's no keys, you don't need to get the quill to unlock it, like we did with the first boss. For the archivist, you don't need to get a key to unlock an area and do certain things, and you don't need to mess with the satellites for the final, well, not the final boss, but the natural connection trophy boss named Golly. But this one, I didn't really see anything that we had to do. We did have to get up and get the Mox gem thing. So this boss, what techniques does it bring? Well, you get to decide. This is called the unfinished boss, and that is for a reason. It doesn't have any rules, so you can set the rules. Every time a card dies, every time you play a card, or every time, don't remember what the third selection is up on top, and then you can decide to have every card receive damage, you lose a life, they will play a leap bot, which is what I chose here, which ends up kind of delaying the run of the game. It just kind of makes it harder for me to finish things off because I can't get to an open slot, which ends up being a problem. But in the end, we get this done. So a set of rules that you can choose, and if you choose a rule that seems to be working too much in your favor, and we will see this in this capture here, PO3 is going to step in and actually kind of put a kibosh on the rule and make you choose another rule. And by the end of it, you're going to see 3 rules floating around here in the game, and one of them is going to be crossed out. At this point, I had already unlocked my Aurora bot, which is Act 3's version of your Aurora Boris that you might have been using in Act 1 and Act 2. We definitely used it in Act 2, and we got it to 56 power and 56 health, if I'm not mistaken. So we will see that in this fight. And if you want to know how to get that, I will be posting a video of all of the little puzzles and lore in Act 3 in the room where you're playing this game. See, there's more elite bots than we can really handle, and they ward against airborne, so you can't hit your opponent directly, so it might not have been the best choice. We try to remedy that in the second round. You can see the numbers on the bottom of our cards are now using the Mox gems. Our empty vessels have gems on them, and that card on the left that we're using, that is one of the Act 3 versions of what we had in Act 2, where they give you 2 gems that you can work with. So they're powering up our cards, they're giving us more, I think, power and health, I believe. Yeah, I believe the orange ones give us power and the green ones give us health. Yep, as you can see on the cards there. So while I was talking about the Mox gems, we got the Aura bot, and we have played it, and again, you're going to see another probably few minutes here of just constantly clearing slots and having them filled by elite bots. So PO3 actually does us a favor later on by canceling this rule, because this Aurora bot would literally clean up the entire rest of the game with this card battle if if we didn't have something constantly put in its place, in its way. And as I was mentioning the Mox gems, you can see which gems are in play down below where the energy gauge is. Lonely Wizbot, our Aurabot, are two cards that we unlocked inside the room where we are playing. I'm going to release a video about how to get all those. So this definitely goes on a little too long. I'm kind of stalling for time here. Okay, I decided to do that. I don't know. I mean, I guess I was trying to figure out how to make it work for me. I think, oh, that's what I was doing. I decided to put it on the left-hand side in order to clear a path and then hopefully be able to use that path. Because I noticed on the right side, there was a slot that was clear, but then I had another play. All right, here we go. Now he's putting an end to it. Game development is full of alternative routes, I think is what it said. So they get rid of that rule, and we pick a second rule. See, a lot of them don't sound like things you want to happen. Like, you don't want all your opponent's cards to have nano armor. You don't want her to lose a life. So every time we play a card, all the cards take damage. I believe that includes... let's see if... Yes, okay, so that includes even the opponent's cards. But that's fine. Even if we end up with just the Aurorabot or the Aurabot, we do fine. Okay, so that's the end of round 1. And the only difference with round 2 is you just pick another rule. So we have 2 rules in play, one that was removed, thank goodness. Every time your turn starts, I think I'd go with the nano armor. Yeah, the nano armor. I didn't like the idea of losing a life. That just does not sound good. Just like with the photographer fight, I believe it was. The only addition to the battle is there's a row of defensive cards in front of us that we're going to have to get rid of. Of course, these do put bombs in a row, so anything in its line of, in its path is going to get hit. Our Aurabot can definitely handle a bomb worth of damage. I mean, we lost, looks like 11 points of health there. Maybe that was from other attacks earlier, but that definitely cleans it up for us. And at this point, I only had $4 I needed to. I was saving up and getting ready to buy the pelts and find all the pelts. And there's our trophy. And I was very thankful that the Aurabot was able to assist us in giving us lots of money. And here's even more money for you. That was the unfinished boss in the bottom left corner of the map. Again, as far as I can remember, no special tricks you need to do in order to get to it. With every boss fight, we get an extra sigil put on our empty vessels. I picked the Sentry sigil so that it will fire upon any card that comes towards it. And you can see the little canvases and paintbrushes here to reference Magnificus. And that should do it. Hope this helped. Take care.